name is Scott Cranfield. I'm the author of The Wise Best Stories. And today I'm going to talk to you about something that can play very heavily on the mind of your child, or sometimes on you. It can become a real concern and what you might call emotional baggage. What am I referring to? I'm referring to criticism. Now, why is criticism such a problem? Well, you see, if, let's say, for example, you're criticizing your child about something and it feels like you're doing it all the time, or your child is criticizing a friend about something on a regular basis. When we're doing that, we start to build up a label on somebody. We start to see them in a lopsided way. The moment we do that, the reason it becomes such a problem is because then it affects our relationship. Our ability to communicate with somebody when we see them one way changes. We don't communicate so effectively. We become more emotional about it. So if you don't change your perspective, don't change your outlook on it, and I'm going to give you a way to do that, but if you don't change it, you end up with this emotional baggage. And that's what can weigh heavy on the mind. And baggage is exactly that. They're emotional bags you carry around that age you. We don't want that. We want to try and dissolve them. And that's my tip's going to help you do that. If you don't change it, the relationship becomes strained. Okay, it's not, the communication between each other is not as clear. And that doesn't matter whether it's you to your child or your child to their friend. It's the same problem. But what if you do follow the advice I'm going to give you? Well, then you will start to dissolve this emotional baggage. Your mind will become clearer. You'll feel lighter mentally. The relationships will be stronger. The communication will be much more effective between the two people. And actually, this works the same if it's you criticizing yourself or your child criticizing themselves. It's actually the same principles apply here. And that's actually what all the Wise Best Stories books are about, is giving children solutions to see things in a new perspective so their mind becomes a lot clearer so they can focus on the things they'd love to do. They don't have that emotional baggage. So let me give you a tip that you can start using straight away to help dissolve this concern. And it's simply this. If it's you criticizing your child for something, let's say you're criticizing them for being forgetful, they're always forgetful, then answer this question. Where do they have a good memory? Where do they remember to do things? And you might think straight, well, they don't. But take your time and look at all different areas of their life. Where do they demonstrate having a good memory? And you'll start to find that. If it's your child criticizing their friend, let's say for not sharing, then ask your child to really think about it. Where does that friend share with them? It might be a different way, but they will be sharing with them in some way, sharing information about schoolwork, sharing some of their lunch, whatever it may be. They will suddenly realize that their friend does share. And then what happens is the truth comes out about the individual. You can start to appreciate that person for who they are as somebody that has two sides, just like every other human being in the world has two sides. The moment you see that, you can appreciate that person for who they are, and then the communication becomes much better, much more effective, and you start to dissolve some of the emotional baggage. You feel better, you become mentally clearer and lighter, and the relationship improves. So it's a real win-win. So answer that question, where is that person the opposite to the thing you're criticizing them for? And of course, that still applies if it's you criticizing yourself or your child criticizing themselves. It still applies. Find the opposite, and you start to then realize that actually they're just a human being with both sides. Okay, really important. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. I hope that's useful for you. Once again, my name's Scott Cranfield. I'm the author of The Wise Best Stories. If you have any questions or you'd like to comment on this, please do so, and I'll be too pleased to come back to you. Thank you.